Joining us now, well, we got to go on a little bit of a field trip yesterday to a place called Nerdcore, and we got a little nerdy, but we are here with Uber Nerds right now. As promised, we are joined by Asa Fipke and Chuck Johnson. How are you guys?
How are you guys? Supreme Commander and Dungeon Master, are those your titles within the company?
That's right.
That's right, Michael. Yep.
Very nice. Now, Ace, why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about Nerdcore and especially the project that you guys are working on right now. It's a huge.
Well, Nerdcore was, formed just over a couple of years ago. We brought together the best nerds we could find because we had a really important project, a very important cartoon that needed to be made, and only the best nerds could be hired.
Now, did you throw out the gigantic nerd war cry in order to gather all these nerds together, or how does one gather?
It was obviously done over the internet.
How stupid of me!
And and from that there was a massive response, and we were able to handpick some of the best nerds we think that are in the cartoon industry.
Now, Chuck, the reason that you guys needed the best nerds is because what you're doing with your production of Dragon Booster, and a lot of people may have seen it on CBC already, is really a little bit different from a lot of the CG and animation work that people may have seen before. Tell us a little bit about the show.
Yeah, well, we've been trying to break the boundaries of 3D animation in the TV environment. Television requires the boundaries to be pushed pretty consistently, and so we wanted to break those boundaries, do something new, and there was no better way to do it than get a very large collection of nerds together.
Now, we're looking at a little bit of it right now, and I got to get up this morning with my cereal and watch some cartoons, and I have to say, I quite enjoyed it. It took me way back. Is that what you guys are going for? Is a little bit of the retro with this? I mean, obviously, it's super modern as well, but I mean, I felt quite at home watching this cartoon.
Oh, well, our job was accomplished. We want, to bring out the nerd in the older kids as well.
Yeah.
So, I think we did a pretty good job of that. And
give people who haven't seen it yet the storyline of Dragon Booster and what the show is actually all about.
Dragon Booster is, in a nutshell, it's dragons, land-based racing dragons, racing at 200 miles per hour,
obviously,
against each other with these crews of kids who are vying for getting new gear to put on their dragon, and
kind of like street racing a little.
Well. No, not like street racing.
Like dragon racing.
Yeah.
Like horse racing.
Now, of course, you have to have an ultra-creative environment to work to make this kind of product. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your philosophy of where you work. So we visited yesterday, and it's different from most people's workplaces.
It's very serious.
Yes, very.
We use technology to enhance creativity. And the magic of computers to make our imaginations come to life.
Now, before we look at the footage that we shot yesterday at Nerdcore, maybe you can explain the Nerd of the Week. Because Mike and I, at the end of this, you're going to see us try and be nerds, but maybe you can explain how you reward your nerdiest employees.
Well, every Friday,
every Friday,
we select a nerd who's lived up to and exceeded the
code of the nerds.
The nerdly code. For things like, what do we get them for? Star Trek memorabilia.
No, just a general sort of knowledge of nerd culture, and really exemplifying that in a way that's that's
the nerdiest way possible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, we're going to show you a little trip that we took through Nerdcore yesterday, and you'll notice something. They all look pretty damn happy. Here we are, our tour of Nerdcore.
Being a nerd is it's a refinement. You don't just sort of step into it and go, I'm a nerd today. You work at it. Watches over many different properties.
Are we nerdy enough?
We can only hope.
Well, and, you know, the nerd of the week's not just doled out to anyone,
Oh,
but
okay.
you know, I'd say like, yeah, you guys could get up
You
there.
guys
in
can
the
make
nerd.
the grade.
Yeah,
Well,
it's possible.
but people have come to you and asked for their compensation as nerds in different forms and not always in money. I mean, people ask for different things.
Yeah,
from you
one
guys.
nerd asked to be paid in sort of 3-foot-high robot,
Gundam
collectible robot.
Instead
You know,
of
instead of a
money.
paycheck. Others try and sell their holidays internally on the MSN network. We have there. All sorts of, you know,
That's
there's
wicked.
80 some odd nerds there. There's
Yeah.
some amazing,
Well, and
interesting
huge
stuff
talent.
coming out of it.
And Chuck, I mean, we can joke around about it, but how important is it to create that environment where these guys feel like they can be as creative as they want to be, and that creation and creative energy is going to be rewarded in a positive way?
Well, it's frighteningly simple actually, but it's fairly
Ominously. So.
ominously simple.
Suddenly I'm afraid.
But not many companies can do it. You know what I mean? Strike that balance between a really enjoyable workplace and one that you know, gets the job done.
It takes a lot of work. It's about showing people respect for their creative capabilities. It's about respecting them as people and what their needs as people are.
Yeah.
We try and find a balance in the studio so that you know, we try and get people out of there at the end of the day, which is reasonably uncommon in this industry, so they can, you know, have a little bit of gas in the tank left to be creative.
I noticed there was a lot of pale people there.
Well, it's so important to have the
bordering on gray.
It's not, the sun's not healthy.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, I mean, you guys starting up your own business, I mean, this is extremely lucrative, the contract to do a cartoon like this. How did this all happen for you? Because, I mean, you're doing 39 episodes of Dragon Booster. It's sold to the networks, but as businessmen, how did this happen?
Yeah, how do you track it?
Prayed a lot to the cartoon gods, and they blessed us, and it was good that way. So no, we you know, we're experienced, you know, in our experience has been in computer animation for about 10 years. I've produced a bunch of shows. Chuck's been an animator, director, and head of animation in various sort of roles in the industry, and so we kind of convinced a few executive types that we
guys
could
can
do
do
it, and they bought into it, and so
you're
far
going-
we've delivered.
And so far, it's an excellent production. If you
It
want to check
certainly
out
is.
Dragon Boosters, it's Tuesdays at 4:30 on CBC. Check it out, sit down with your kids, and you'll enjoy it, and they'll enjoy it.
And I'm
'cause it's a
assuming the
great show.
DVD, the video game, and the books will be to follow, no doubt.
They're on their way.
Yeah,
On
I
their
thought
way.
so.
Beautiful.
So we're going to take a break right now. When we return, don't go away because there's more pipers and drummers coming because it's Robbie Burns Day.
So, black watching with it. It's black. It ain't watching.
We'll be right back.
Be right back.